I think that all of us have uh, psychological needs, if you will, or certain things that tend to get us excited and inspired, and certain things that do not tend to make us excited and inspired. And so, I think that in general, if we can find ways to work with our um, to work with what excites and not expires us, what excites and inspires us, which is different than being what incites and expires us, which is quite a different thing. Um, so if we can find the ways that we love to work, the ways that the things that get us fired up, and then we can spend more of our time in it, I think that's really ideal. Some of it can come down, I think, to environment. Some of it can come down to the actual tasks that you do. Some of it's just the way in which you do your tasks, perhaps. Um, and so, there's different tests that like measure. I think the Colby test is one that measures how you prefer to work. So it's not a personality test per se. It's about what's your work style. How do you like to approach tasks and get them done? And so, do you like to just boom launch right into a task and thrash through it and get it done? Do you find that you often procrastinate before you start? Do you like to go about it very deliberately? Do you like more of a hair on fire method? Um, I don't remember exactly all the various criteria of it, but it sort of measures, your different work styles. And so, if you're kind of an entrepreneurial, hair on fire kind of person, you may need someone who's more likes to get things, really likes to get things through to completion, and is very measured or detailed in their work to has that high follow through, if you will, that that ability to continue through and complete a task may be very vital to have on your team or as an assistant to help you get through. So um, I think that yeah, and I think for me currently, I think this is an area that I probably need to. I think I probably could improve on. I say I could improve on. I feel like while I'm very blessed with the work that I have right now, and I do find parts of it to be fun, enjoyable, interesting. For instance, bringing on new clients, I think it tends to kind of get me fired up. It's like, well, let's see what we can do here. What kind of result can we get? And whereas the regular account maintenance things to me are not as inspiring because I'm not naturally motivated by maintenance. So I have brought on an assistant who is helping me with the maintenance component so that hopefully my time can be spent doing more high value things than some of the kind of maintenance and reporting elements that I normally do. Now, I'm still very hands on in my clients' ads accounts, don't get me wrong, but some of the kind of repetitious elements of it, I am, kind of working to offload to her so that she can help me with that, and hopefully my time can be spent on better things and hopefully on more interesting things. So, um, that is. But I'd say that on the whole, though, a lot of my work, it's kind of interesting because, probably I'm the type of guy who is most inspired by one-off projects and interesting things that I can kind of dig deep on, get her done, and then maybe move on to the next thing. But the way my business is set up is that most of my clients are regular monthly clients. They require regular monthly work and reporting, and so it's you can make the argument that I've actually set my business up a little differently than I prefer to work, which is kind of crazy to say out loud, right? But hopefully, over time, I can bring in people to do those regular tasks who enjoy doing regular tasks, who enjoy like feeling like they really know what they're doing. Maybe they're not doing, whereas I may tackle more of the, at least for instance, currently, I'm doing more of the big picture and troubleshooting and ad accounts and figuring out different strategies to try, things like that. My assistant is doing more of the regular maintenance items that need to be done. So, hopefully over time it can continue to shift in that direction to where, I'm providing the best value to my clients that I can because I'm doing work that's really interesting and is really high value to my clients. And hopefully my team can help fill in the other things that are also very high value, but they're from the standpoint of more of an ongoing maintenance, updates, the regular monthly throughput hopefully can mostly actually over time be offloaded to other people so that I'm doing more, mostly, maybe new client work, building relationships, doing basically just enabling me to work on either the gnarliest problems in projects or the most interesting problems in projects. And hopefully my team, who can be, people who are not bored with doing regular monthly recurring tasks, hopefully, they're helping to produce a lot of excellence in that department for our clients. So anyway, I think that, there's probably, I have quite a long ways to go in terms of really, in terms of getting the business to where, it's fully optimized so to where my role is fully optimized to my work style preferences. But I think that's probably pretty normal for a small business when it's, when I'm wearing most of the hats or many of the hats still. And so, I think some patience is in order, and hopefully God will lead me into, expanding things to where it is more fun and continues to be, really high quality for my clients.